I sometimes forget that there was a time when Alex was still whole, a time when he could see and hear and move as most of us do, a time before his body started coming apart, and a time before we knew why. Who would Alex be right now if we had known? And what would his life look like?
When I was 15 months old, things started to go wrong with my body. I started to go blind and then deaf. Then I began to lose my balance. When I was 13, I started losing every child. By the time I started high school, I had lost a lot of function in my arms and hands. I started to rely on my nose to draw and type. For 17 years, my parents took me to all the best hospitals in the country, but no one could figure out what was wrong with me.
My grandfather was a diagnostician, so I grew up understanding that some diseases were exceptionally more difficult to identify than others. But when no one could figure this thing out, I couldn't understand why. Why was there not a single doctor anywhere who could tell us what was happening to Alex? In the end, it took almost 2 decades for science to catch up and finally tell us what was wrong with Alex. We finally received our answer when NIH ran Alex's genome and found that he had mutations in the genes responsible for transporting riboflavin, also known as vitamin B2, into his cells. Specifically, he suffered from riboflavin transporter deficiency type 2. We learned that high doses of riboflavin and other supplements could slow the disease progression, but by then, irreversible damage had already been done to Alex's body. How could the deficiency of a single vitamin cause so much devastation? It was almost unimaginable. RTD is so rare there are only 100 or so people in the world diagnosed with the disease. Most doctors haven't heard of the disorder, and many people still go for years without a diagnosis, just like Alex. And as of today, there's no cure. In the end, Alex is one of the lucky ones. Many people with RTD don't survive childhood without treatment. And while Alex's life is forever altered because of his disease, he has not let that get in his way. He continues to reach for his goals with a level of determination and optimism that is as rare as RTD itself. His genes may be broken, but his spirit is strong.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I'll like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move.